pride always be unparalleled. May our traditions live on and on. May our dreams be big, but our hearts even bigger. May we never be too busy to smile, too old to dance, or too tired to care. It's what makes us Texas, and it's what makes Pinnacle Bank happy to be here. May we always be part of your community, because we're not just a bank in Texas, we're Texas at a bank. Pinnacle Bank, the way banking should be.
Well, we want to welcome in now the Maypearl Panthers boys basketball team. We got Coach Nichols, we got Heath Racer, Grant Hamby. We appreciate you all jumping on with us and taking the time out of your day to talk a little basketball. So, Coach Nichols, I want to start with you. All in all, you're getting to play basketball in 2021, which seemed like a miracle after 2020. How do you think the season's going so far?
Yeah, I mean, that was kind of the big question, wasn't it? Football started up and everything in Texas has been pretty proactive, and I know they've got a lot of protocols in place, and that was kind of my goal from the very beginning, is just hope that we get to play and get to have a full season, and I'm super glad that football did, and knock on wood, all things are looking like we're going to get to finish our season as well. So maybe things are starting to get back to normal a little bit, because as well as I do, Texas sports are huge, and it's so important. It's so important to everybody, but it's really important to our seniors. I feel for them, having to miss games and this pandemic going on during their time, and it's just a weird place to be. But no, I'm super excited we're getting to play, and hoping that we get to finish the year for sure.
Well, Grant, as an athlete, in the state of Texas, how great is it to be able to be out there with your entire city behind you and all your students as well, your fellow students?
It's amazing, especially from football coming into basketball, being able to play, because since we didn't get to finish our baseball season last year, coming in to play every sport and having restrictions to a point, but being able to do pretty much everything we did last year, it's been great.
Well, Heath, talk about your experience this season compared to seasons past, how the team's been able to rally together, maybe some of the differences, but really fighting through and being able to get out on the court and compete with everything that's going on.
Yeah, so our team this year is a lot closer than the teams in the past have been. We all talk to each other about everything. We make sure everyone's on the same page about everything. So with COVID involved, it hasn't really hurt anything except some restrictions, but I think we're working through it pretty well.
Well, Coach, just talk about the group of men that you have out there on the court every night and just what kind of group that is, because I know you got some very articulate young men, and they also carry their grades well as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I feel very fortunate to be their coach. I mean, they work extremely hard, and it's back to the COVID deal a little bit. We've had to deal with it as much as anybody, if not more. A lot of people probably didn't realize this. We've kind of been running an uphill race. We had some COVID issues or some exposure, and we had to miss 10 days, and then right in the middle of district, right when we were starting to play a little bit better, and then we had to go out for 10 days and come right back, and then you get to go play the number one team in the state. And we really, we really have only had we had practice today, but other than that, we've only had 2 practices. We ended up having to make up games and play 6. What do we have to play, guys? Like 6 games and
9 days, right?
Yeah, something like that. 6 days and 8 or 9 days with only 2 days of practice. It's really hard on you. But these guys, like we said earlier, I just feel fortunate that we're getting to play, and these guys have really worked hard, and they deserve all the credit. I mean, they've had to deal with a lot, and I'm super proud to be their coach, and whatever happens this year, we're going to play. I know we're going to play hard every single night, and whatever happens. But I'm super proud to be their coach, and I'm super proud to be at Maypearl because I think it's a really good spot to be.
Well, Coach Nichols, coming back to you, you make the point of you missed 10 days. You're missing out on practice time, and then you get crunched with 6 games in over 8 or 9 days. And in a town like Maypearl, when you're talking about a 3A school, and I know Grant kind of touched on it, you're dealing with kids that play basketball, that play football, that play baseball. How tough is it then as the basketball coach when you are in season? Those practices are important because some of these kids don't specialize in just one sport. And then to have them those practices taken away, it's got to add a layer of, I don't know if difficulty is the right word, but it definitely throws a wrench in your plans for any kind of planning that goes along into your season.
It definitely does, but I mean, we try to think of ourselves. I always say we're a no excuse program, and we're not dealing with anything that a lot of other teams haven't had to deal with. So it's definitely not an excuse. Has it been an adjustment? Yes. Is it probably a little bit harder because I'm a new coach here, and we had, I think, 8 seniors last year, so we have a lot of athletes who hadn't been on varsity in the past and have been having to step up, and it makes it hard to develop roles and things of that nature. But it's not an excuse. I mean, you still got to play and go out there and make the best of a situation, because in a getting to play, and that's what matters the most, I think.
Well, and Grant, I mean, talk about the fact that y'all are in the hunt still.
Yes, sir.
And what coach has done to keep y'all there.
Well, he stayed positive and kept us in line whenever we get our heads down and don't think we have a shot. He picks us back up and makes sure that we know that we can still win this and still have a chance at playoffs.
Well, talk about that senior group, Grant being one of them, what they've meant to you, and kind of the leadership and the roles that they're going to leave behind for you guys to fill in the next year to come.
Yeah, these guys, I love them. They're great. Grant, Brooks, and Jack all lead the team so well, and they're those seniors I've been with. I've been on varsity basketball. So.
Well, and Grant, you're a multi-sport athlete. And one of the things I think that's great about that is a lot of colleges will look at somebody that's a multi-sport. Do you have plans to go off to college? And if so, what kind of sport or what are you looking to do?
I've actually signed already with the United States Coast Guard.
Very nice.
And that's been my plan since 7th grade. And I'm just following in the footsteps of my family. And I love sports, and so I might play for them, but I'm not looking at any colleges.
Gotcha. Well, thank you for your service to our country.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, Coach, I mean, you've got some outstanding men here, and, you got a little fire plug on that JV team, that guard that hit the tying 3-pointer the other night, Olsen.
Yeah, Hunter, he hit a big shot and came through, and then we're really lighting the scoreboard up on the JV. I think that game went to triple overtime, and it was like 32 to 31 or something like that. So no, but he did. He hit a big shot at the end to get it to overtime, and that's really special. He'll remember that for the rest of his life, even though it is a JV game.
Yeah.
And I have him in class actually, so he was kind of letting me know that he made that shot a little bit. So that's good. He's got a little fight in him, and I like that.
Well, and Grant, come back to you as that senior leadership. How good is it for you and Maypearl athletics to see these kind of young guys, stepping up and hitting those big shots? wanting to make varsity, wanting to, on all the sports, having that attitude about that.
I'm just glad to have the junior and down. That class is they love sports, and it's nice knowing that when we leave, we're passing off the torch to them, and they're gonna keep going as hard as they can, and they're not gonna give up on their sport or sports. And I mean, I can see they love to play it. Coming from every sport, I can see every type of kid that's out there playing every sport or just their solo sport, since I go through all three of them.
Well, Coach Nichols, what is it about Maypearl? I know as a guy who's been in the area since I was born, pretty much. Maypearl's really come a long way as far as growth. I know it's only 3A, but if you drive through that area, it's not the same area. Being new down there, what is it about Maypearl that really sticks out to you and makes you want to hang your hat as a place that is to raise a family, but the athletics are good, the school is good, the kids are good?
Well, I mean, that was the main thing when I took the job is I have a daughter who's in second grade, and we fully bought in. I mean, I live about 4 minutes from the gym, so that makes it nice. Obviously my daughter's going to second grade here. I grew up in a community a lot like Pearl, even though it was West Texas, or about hour north of Abilene, a little town called Haskell, and so there's a lot of similarities. And I think Maypearl, I don't want to say it's a diamond in the rough, because I think it's a pretty good place just like it is, but there's a lot of development going on. You drive around the Maypearl area and you see a lot of new housing developments going up, and lots of people are moving in. So I think in the future it's going to be even better than what it is right now. Not that there's anything wrong with it right now. The city is just. I think there's a lot of people wanting to get out of the city and move out to the outskirts a little bit.
Well, Heath, let's pop to you real quick, man. All right, the stands were pretty full on Saturday, but we need them packed out as much as they can, right? So give me your best rally speech to get everybody in Maypearl out to that next game.
All right, we got senior night coming up Friday at I think 7:30. It's a game. We gotta win it, and it'll be if everyone's there. It'll be hype. Let's go.
All right, and Grant, real quick, I know you're in the baseball program as well, and y'all have got a charity going. I think y'all are still taking stuff for it, correct?
I'm not sure exactly. We finished that up Saturday. I know we finished up a big portion of it Saturday.
Coach, do you have some info on that?
Yeah, it's finished. But I think it was done on Friday or Saturday, and the baseball program, Coach Martin does a good job of organizing it. But it's an all sports effort across the board. I mean, whether girls, boys, junior high. I know our junior high program brought a basketball team. Brought a bunch of Nerf guns and beach towels and stuff. It's really good. It's a really good thing that they're doing. I think it helps a lot of kids, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with making these young guys realize that they got it pretty good, no matter how bad it is.
Well, and that's what our athletics departments around Ellis County are doing. Coaches like you, coaches like Coach Martin, are setting the example for young men like this, and obviously it's paying off.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, Coach Nichols, before we let you guys go, he said y'all got senior night coming up this Friday. Do you have any more details on that as far as time? And then you got any more games as far as next week that we can get out, get people coming, hopefully help pack those stands?
Yeah, absolutely. The tickets are all on the athletic website online, so you do have to buy tickets that way. Tuesday we are at Hampton. Tomorrow night we're at Hampton. They do not allow fans, so that's just team only. Friday we play A+. The girls play before us, and they play at 6, and so the varsity game will start about 7:30, and that will be senior night. And then That's the the senior night is the main thing. We'd really like to try to push getting a lot of we'd like to have it sold out. Due to COVID, there's a capacity issue, but as long as we can sell it out, that would be nice for senior night for sure.
Well, awesome. We'll help push that on social media as well. But we appreciate you guys taking the time to jump on, give us a little peek behind the curtain in Maypearl men's basketball. Grant, Heath, we wish you all the best of luck. Coach, you as well. But thank you again for coming on, and hopefully we can have you on again soon. Maybe talking a little playoffs, make a push here at the end. What do you say?
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. Appreciate you having us on.
Thank you.
Okay. It's time for the Pinnacle Power Player of the Week. This week's Pinnacle Power Player is Drew Barnes. The Houston Nationals, where he was the champion and went 6-0. First place is Stockyard Stampede. Second place at the Panhandle Nationals. Fifth place at the Reno Worlds, one of the toughest youth tournaments around. And just last week was at Tulsa Nationals with over 33 competitors in his division, 19 states represented, and Drew went 2-2 in that competition. Join us in Pinnacle Bank in celebrating our youth athletes of Ellis County with the Pinnacle Power Player of the Week. All right, folks, we're here with Drew Barnes and his dad, Brett Barnes. And guys, Drew, I just want to go to you first, okay, since you're the athlete right here, right now. But, I mean, is there somebody that you looked up to that, kind of made you want to wrestle?
Yeah, Jordan Burroughs.
Okay. Awesome. Well, Dad, how proud of you are you of Drew right now with all that he's accomplished at this early age?
I'm very proud of him. I really love watching him compete. Not always proud of his performance every week, but I'm proud of how he carries himself and how he competes. Every week there's something we need to get better at, but I love watching him, just grow up and how excited he gets when he competes, and just how he how he enjoys watching his teammates compete and how he celebrates their wins and just the relationships he builds through wrestling. It's fun for a dad.
Well, and also, I mean, this is a family affair from what we understand, that your whole family's there and supporting him, even baby sis.
Yes. Both of his little sisters are there watching him. His older sister, she's actually started wrestling herself, but she doesn't compete yet. But yeah, the whole family's there. A little less family members there this year due to restrictions on how many people you can bring to each event at times. But we're all there supporting for sure. But what would you say your favorite pin is?
The power half.
He's a big leg rider and likes running the power half.
Okay. Well, I mean, Drew, what's the next step for you? I mean, I've seen where you placed in Division III and Division II and Division I. What's the next big tournament for you?
Kickoff will be the next big one.
Yeah, the next there are 3 big tournaments every year: Tulsa Kickoff, Tulsa Nationals, and Reno Nationals that go into the rankings. And right now, we're already looking at next year, getting ready for kickoff next year, which is in November. Now we do have the state championship this year, which we got Russell Well to win, but he hasn't had much competition this year in his age group and weight class. So we should, so we should win that. But
awesome.
we're looking at next year already.
Well, Drew, with wrestling being such a new sport down here in Ellis County, it's really starting to kick off. What would you tell other kids that would want to make them get into wrestling? Is it all the friends that you make?
Yeah.
And stuff like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
It is cool. You get to meet a lot of friends from other teams and around the state, and a lot of the Texas guys have a bond when they go to Oklahoma and wrestle out of state.
Well, okay, I got to ask this, okay, knowing Oklahoma and the way things are between Texas and Oklahoma, is it always a little nicer to beat somebody from Oklahoma?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
It's
folks,
a tough competition down there. When we get those wins up there in Oklahoma, they mean something.
well, I tell you what, we're proud of you around the county, and we'll have an award coming to you pretty soon as you're our very first Pinnacle Power Player of the Week. And ladies and gentlemen, Drew Barnes, wrestler, and I'm sure you'll be hearing from him in high school as well.
May our pride always be unparalleled. May our traditions live on and on. May our dreams be big, but our hearts even bigger. May we never be too busy to smile, too old to dance, or too tired to care. It's what makes us Texas, and it's what makes Pinnacle Bank happy to be here. May we always be part of your community, because we're not just a bank in Texas, we're Texas in a bank. Pinnacle Bank, the way banking should be.
All right, so we are welcoming in the Maypearl Lady Panthers basketball team. We got the legendary, the first Coach K, correct? We've also got Morgan McAllister and Malaya Somers, both seniors. We appreciate y'all jumping on with us, taking time out of your evenings. Malaya actually jumped in her car. That's how devoted she is.
She's so devoted.
But we thank y'all. And Coach, starting with you, it's been a weird season. That's to say the least, but how do you think things are going so far? 6-0 in district. You took out Grandview a few games ago. Things got to be looking pretty good down in Maypearl.
Yes, it's been, besides the COVID year, it's been really, really good. We're 11-5. We've been playing really well as of late. We did play the 38th team at all levels, state-ranked team on Friday, and they kind of showed us, put us back in our place a little bit. But we needed that kind of game because our district is not real tough at the bottom. So we kind of wanted that game just to get back on the track, getting ready for the playoffs. So, we've already basically clinched a playoff spot. And so we're excited about moving on. Yeah, the COVID year has been tough, but it's been tough for everybody. And, we had a 3-game quarantine. We were quarantined and missed 3 games. But the girls fought through it. They put it behind them, and they're working hard right now. And I'm real proud of them.
Well, Morgan, my nephew played basketball down there in Maypearl, and I just got to ask you, okay, the record's great and everything, but how good is it to beat Grandview?
Oh, it is absolutely awesome, and we usually don't. It's not every year. It's not an every year thing, but when we do, it's definitely awesome. And the fact that we beat them over there at their gym was even better. Yeah, it's even better.
Malaya, I'm sure this senior season has been different than any season in the past, but how do you think the team chemistry, it seems like y'all are rolling pretty good. How do you think it is this year in comparison to years past? And how has it been different to kind of get that team chemistry and camaraderie when everybody's got all these rules and regulation and mask and distance and all that?
I feel like this year we've become more like united as one because we aren't broken up into different groups and like cliques kind of. So I feel like we're able to do more stuff together and feel like we're all included and all together. Even though it's like a COVID year, we're still able to do a bunch of stuff together and be able to do more like routines together and be able to just play like we are. Well,
Coach K, a lot of coaches have a problem with the bigger schools because their kids are so spread out. At a school like Maypearl, most of these kids play 2 to 3 sports together, right. Or they're really entrenched and played rec all the way through together and then went on to the high school and junior high levels, right? How much is that an aid in your program?
Oh, it helps a ton. Being a 3A coach, especially in Maypearl, I work with the junior high, and I actually am a PE teacher, so I teach the pre-athletics class. So I see my little 6th graders already. I can only tell you who my ballers are in that 6th grade class already. And I get to work, we work 2 times a week with them and just in basketball skills right now. So that's really helps our program. And they get used to me, my voice. I'm a lot nicer to them than I am my varsity girls, as they will probably tell you. But it's that helps a whole, starting there. And they've kind of had a setback this year too, because the MYB, Youth Association couldn't play a league this year, but a lot of those girls are going over to Mansfield and playing them in some leagues. So, and I'm also in the junior high program every morning with my coaches there. So, they see my face. I have a lot of input all the way from the 6th grade to the 12th grade.
Well, and Morgan, growing up with coaches that you see all the way through school, right? Pretty much from junior high up. I know Coach is hard on y'all because he's trying to make you the best that you can. But how much do you girls realize how much he cares and how much he's invested in y'all?
We are truly lucky to have such a good coach as Coach K. He's very persistent with the program. I feel like he's built an amazing athletic program. And I do see, even in our school, the boys program isn't as solid as ours, is what I would say. And that even goes along with other schools as well. They're constantly getting new coaches. But I feel like Coach K is very persistent with us, and he's patient. Most of all, he's very patient. And he's an amazing coach. And I wouldn't trade him for the world.
Malaya, talk about this senior group that you're a part of, and you've been under Coach K now since this is your senior year for a few years. But talk about the group of girls that you're getting to play with, that you're going to graduate with, what they've meant to you, and what you think you've meant to the program as well.
I've known this group of girls ever since I was in MYB and all. We've played with each other since we were in 2nd grade. I've known Morgan since we were in kindergarten, and we've always played together throughout all that. And I feel like being so close with them growing up, it has made our chemistry so much better, and we are so much happier being able to play together because it's just like when we were little.
Well, Coach K, I want to ask you, when you look at these stat sheets for your team, there's not one person that necessarily stands out above the rest. And it's not that the rest of the numbers are not good. They're, spread out evenly. Your girls are scoring at 8, 7, 6 points apiece across the board. Talk about the unselfishness of this group, that they spread it around, they get each other the ball, but then the camaraderie that they have on the court to be able to go out there and do that and not have one girl stead head over heels above each other. They all play together as a team.
Yes, it's that's what's really our team is built on. Our team slogan this year is one more. It started as one more pass. Then it became one more stop as in defense. Then became one more game because of COVID. One more year, those kind of things. The one more slogan really kind of fit. It started with the pass about being a team, but it also fits so many other things. And you're right. I'll tell our girls all the time, when people try to scout us, try to put a scouting report together, we do the same. I do the same thing. I try to stop the other team's best 2 players. Well, you pick my best 2 players. Good luck, because I got a lot of them. And so it's not. Please. Oh, sorry. I got a lot of them, so it's a really good a good balanced unit. As you already said, we have nobody over 10 points a game, so it's kind of unique in that aspect. But we also average 54 points a game, which is a very high number for 3A girls basketball.
Well, and Morgan, let's go over to the defensive side of the ball, my favorite side. When you have people that are that unselfish, you get that extra defensive effort. And y'all seem to be playing for each other this year, even more so than I've seen down in Maypearl in the past. Just talk about that defense and how y'all can have that translate into putting points up on the board.
Yes, so we do run a 1-3-1, which is very new for the Maypearl Basketball Girls Athletics Association. All of the years I've been playing in high school, we have never run a 1-3-1. And it's very unique because you have to work as a team, and you have to have some serious trust to want to run a 1-3-1. You have to trust that your other teammates are in your help, that they got your back if it gets lobbed over. You got to trust that they're going to do their part. Even more, you got to trust that they're working hard at all times and using your defense to score your points. The 1-3-1 really helps with that, because once you get tips and stuff, the point guard's at the top, so you just throw it over and she's down the court already.
There you go. Well, Malai, you look like you're a pretty funny person. You've had a smile on your face the whole time. So I'm going to ask you, all right, on those bus rides, that's one thing you'll never forget about high school sports in Texas. All right, who's the one that's back there doing TikToks and making everybody laugh?
Oh, we know that.
Probably Casey Trejo.
Okay.
Well, Coach K, Morgan talks about a 1-3-1 the first time y'all have run it down there in Maypearl. So I've got to ask, did you just wake up and it's like, you know what, I think I want to try that this year? Or was it the group of girls that you said, you know what, I've got a group that I think can make this work?
It's all about personnel. I've actually since I've been in Maypearl, my first year there, they were running a 2-3 before I got there, and so I left it because it was going to be hard to get transition out of that. I mean, just to transition my girls. The next 3 years, I ran man to man, and this team was the perfect team for a 1-3-1. So I played with the 1-3-1 one other year at Maypearl. I had a pretty good unit with that group too, but I've run a 1-3-1 off and on in my career, and it's a personnel fits it perfectly. You know, we got the right, you know, Malia's that we call a chaser on the top. Morgan's a wing, and then we have a center, which is our post players. And then we have two girls on the bottom that we call our warriors. And so the personnel really fits the 1-3-1. And it's another reason I like, you know, most teams don't practice against it. So, you know, it's just a unique defense. And Morgan said it so strongly. It's a trust defense. You got to work together. Everybody's got to, you know, I use it from, you know, Tom Brady, but, you know, it's like, you know, do your job and we'll be all right. And everybody does their job, and we've been all right.
Well, Malia, just talk about these young ladies that you've spent all this time with, you know, like y'all's motto, one more. You know, y'all got a couple more games to go here. You got one more run in the playoffs. Okay. How special is this run going to be to you as a senior?
I feel like this is going to be like really special to me because I feel like this group of girls is like my family, and I feel like they like mean like almost everything to me, and I'm so glad that I get to like spend my last year with this one group right here. And I feel like that we're going to go far, and then we're going to have like the time of our lives at playoffs.
And Morgan, over to you with the kind of basic same thing. How good would it feel to bring home, you know, fourth round to a state title to Maypearl?
Jeez, I can't even, like, my heart kind of flutters when I think about it. I can't even imagine how that would feel because I can't even tell you the last time that happened in, like, Maypearl basketball history. So that would seriously be awesome if we got to bring back one of those titles.
Coach K's sitting there in his mind going, ladies, it's one game at a time.
Yeah.
Right. It's 7 games, baby. 7 games.
So, Coach, but coming to you on a look ahead, I know here February 5th you'll get Grandview again, and that's going to be another one you want to get after them girls. But before that, what are maybe because you got 3 games this week, correct? It's
correct.
An extra one. What's that look like, and where can people maybe get tickets or time so they can come watch these girls ball out?
On tomorrow night we play Faith Family, which is a 4A school, which is we beat them by 6 at their place. And we play at 6 o'clock tomorrow night at Maypearl. We're at Maypearl all week this week, by the way. Wednesday, we play Keene, which is our 3rd place team right now. They had a little COVID incident, so we're trying to make up a game we missed. That was early in the schedule. So we're playing them at 6 o'clock on Wednesday. And then Friday, we're playing A+ Academy at 6 o'clock also. And it's a boys and girls game that night, 6 and 7:30 or 6 and 7:15. Then the following week we go to Life Oak Cliff, which would probably be our 4th place team, and then we finish up the season with that other team.
That other team,
Exactly.
I like it. So Morgan, you got 3 games this week, so you got that extra one. Has Coach been conditioning y'all enough? Do you think you're in good enough shape? And I know Malia probably will be, but what about the rest of you?
I think that we're totally ready. I feel like as a team we're in a good shape as a team. I don't feel like there are any slackers or anything or anyone that actually needs to get in shape. But mentally, I think that we're good. Physically, I think that we're good too. We just gotta push through these 3 games until next Friday. So we'll see how it goes.
I love the confidence.
Oh yeah. Well, Coach, correct me if I'm wrong, but Friday night senior night, correct?
No, we've actually.
That's the boys.
Parents,
I'm sorry.
That's the boys. But my parents did me a favor because they were worried about COVID, so we did ours early in the year already, and we've already done ours, which is good. Not good because it could have fell on that other team's night. You know, that last game of the year when you usually do senior night. I don't really like doing senior night on that game, so just and then my parents asked me to do it earlier. I'm going, okay, we'll do it earlier. So it worked out great. It was a really nice night too. It turned out to be really nice.
Good. Well, Malia, okay, I need you to get fired up. You're in the huddle. You're talking to every Panther fan out there. Tell them why they ought to be out there and fill this gym over the next 5 games. Let's get fired up, girl.
I feel like they need to be there because these are our last games, and mainly all the people that go to our school have grown up with us, and all of our seniors need to be out there and support us because it's going to be our last couple home games before we take on Grandview and then we go away at Life. And I feel like they just need to be there because we're 6-0, and I feel like we're going to run through this little bit of district and go straight to playoffs.
Awesome. Well, guys, we appreciate y'all jumping on with us, taking time out of your evening. Thank you, Coach K, Morgan, and Malia. We wish you the best of luck, and hopefully when y'all play that no-name team here next week, it's capturing a district championship, because I tell you, we'd love to see it for you guys.
Heck yeah.
Thank you guys so much for having us. We really appreciate y'all asking.
Thank you so much.
Well, when y'all capture that district championship and make that playoff run, hopefully you'll come on and join us again.
We'd love to. Thank you.
All right, we're with Coach Z with the Lady Indians, and just want to talk to you a little bit about Maya hitting her big point tonight. And so,
well, it's always an honor to be able to coach a player of that caliber. Just going back and totaling up all her points, the first thing I noticed is how her points increased every year, which is what you want as a player. But this is a first for me to be able to coach a kid that has reached that many points. So I'm just so excited for her, her family, and just all the hard work that it took for her to get there.
awesome. She's a building block player, right?
Yes, she really is. You're very fortunate, and I said this the other day on radio. I've been truly grateful and blessed to have a player like that when you're rebuilding, who does whatever you ask, no questions asked, and just is such a hard worker that, you know, in terms of leadership, that's all you can ask for.
All right. Hi, Ellis County. I'm Amy Troll, and I'm with Downhome Sports. Tonight, the Lady Indians beat the Waco Lions, but we are actually here to celebrate Maya Williams because she hit her 1800th point tonight. And so we just want to check in with her. How are you feeling?
Yes, I'm just happy to get a win. Yeah. And so, but I'm glad to hit 1800 points, so it's a blessing.
When you think about your high school career, you know, you're a senior this year. I don't know, what does that mean?
It's a sad and happy moment, so it's bittersweet, but I'm glad to be able to go on a new journey to go to college, so yeah.
Do you have plans yet?
I'm deciding what college I'm going to, so you should know soon.
Congratulations. You played great tonight. It was really fun to watch you.
Thank you.
May our pride always be unparalleled. May our traditions live on and on. May our dreams be big, but our hearts even bigger. May we never be too busy to smile, too old to dance, or too tired to care. It's what makes us Texas, and it's what makes Pinnacle Bank happy to be here. May we always be part of your community, because we're not just a bank in Texas, we're Texas in a bank. Pinnacle Bank, the way banking should be.
We are welcoming in the SAGU football program with Coach Ryan Smith, Jordan Barlow, Blaine Rowe, and Drake Rodriguez. We appreciate y'all joining us, taking time out of your day. Welcome in.
Thank you. Thanks for having us. Appreciate you guys.
Coach Smith, going to start with you. Is it nice to start football when it's actually cold weather versus like 95, or is it a little different?
Man, I'm from Mississippi, so this is cold, brother, and I ain't got no hair either, so that don't help either. But we love football, so it doesn't really matter when it is. This is a really unique situation. We got to play 2 games in the fall, which really kind of gave us the sense of, okay, what is our identity as a team? And you almost it's almost like a preseason. But I think for us, it gives our guys an anticipation. What to come into the spring with a little excitement. I mean, tomorrow's our first prep, so there's just a lot of excitement. I mean, we're just ready to play. February, we talk about this all the time. February, December, 8 degrees or 80 degrees. We don't care. We just want to play ball,
Well, I can tell you by looking at these other guys, I think they got some hair to spare.
Yeah.
You have no idea about this one beside me.
Yeah.
He's got his man bun going on, but I promise.
It looks like he's got it hidden back there. Yeah, I'm sure it's got some flowing locks going on.
No doubt. No doubt.
It's a jealousy for me.
And so, well, Jordan, let's come over to you real quick. Grad transfer at the QB position. First of all, talk about, you've been to a couple different places. Give us a little background on you, and then comparably, how is SAGU racked up to maybe some of your stops along the way?
Yes, sir. So I'm from Arkansas, is where I went to high school. I ended up playing, I redshirted my freshman year at Ouachita Baptist, a Division II school down there, and then played junior college at Arkansas Baptist, it's a junior college there. Had a great year, really enjoyed it. Ended up transferring to Lindenwood University. That's a Division II up near St. Louis. Had a great time up there. Went through spring ball, was supposed to be kind of competing for the job. Was pretty open when I got there. Then I tore my shoulder and had shoulder surgery, missed the whole season and everything. So I ended up coming back home and graduated last year. Came out here in the spring for about 2 weeks, and then COVID hit and shut everything down. Started training. Then I ended up here. This last fall was really my first semester here, and got a couple guys from my junior college here, and so it ended up working out really cool.
That's
a lot
good.
of it's real similar stuff, man. It's a great place here.
Awesome. Well, we got the double deuce. We got Blaine Rowe tied in. Okay, so I was a lineman. So I'm just going to tell you, the lightest guy on the line is an arc. Yeah. He tells on you for eating all the time. But, talk about the program and what it's meant to you to be able to continue your football career here at SAGU.
Well, SAGU, I mean, it's really special to me because I've been here for 5 years. So this is my 5th year here.
Yeah.
And I came out of high school. SAGU was really the only school that gave me a chance. So it was like, if they're going to invest in me, then I'll invest in them for as long as I can. And when Coach Smith came in, I mean, he took over, and, I mean, it's been a great time ever since. But it just means this school means a lot more to me than a lot of people think it does.
That's awesome, man. And Drake, I still can't get used to defensive ends being number 11.
Yeah,
it's okay.
Different. It's different.
I'm old, okay? But just talk about, your experience at SAGU and, what the school's meant to you, what the camaraderie, what the team has meant, et cetera.
Right. So this school, great. Chapel, 3 times a week. That has molded me into the young man that I'm becoming and the young man that I am for my kids in the future and my wife. Especially Coach Smith, he has done a really good job of holding me accountable and whatnot for not only being a leader but being a young man. I hold that very high, but I love it. The team is awesome. We're molding every day, and I'd love to see us grow together. It's awesome. It's really well.
Coach Smith, we've talked about this before, but here before us, you got 3 men with completely different backgrounds, and they've come from completely different spots around the country. Talk about when you're in an NAIA school and you're out there recruiting, how you can dig around and get people from all over and find talent that maybe other people have missed and bring them in and get kind of the diamond in the rough.
Well, there's a couple of different things. One, our recruiting coordinator, Coach Paramore, does a really good job. He's got a principle, no stone unturned. And I mean, it's true to form. We turn over every rock and we find them wherever we can find them. And I think there's a common denominator, that I talk to these guys about is you find some kids that love Friday nights and they love everything about Friday nights, the lights, the cheerleaders, mama in the stands, all those things. And then we're trying to identify guys that love football, because a Saturday afternoon in NAI is not a Texas Friday night. It's just not. So, for us, there has to be, you have to see what we talk about, being emotionally invested into the game, and guys who truly love football. And you hear these stories of Blaine's been here 5 years. Blaine has played 4 different positions in this offense for me. Drake he's been on every he's only a sophomore, he's been on every special team. And the reason he's got a skill number is because we faked a punt with him last year and he ran for 50. And I said, we're putting a skill number on him at that point.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
And so the big common denominator and the thing that connects a lot of people is sports. When this whole COVID thing hit, my cry, I guess, was, hey, let's play football. It's a unification point for our culture, our society, and everything that's going on. And the thing that we do is we try to get these guys to understand that, you got to love this game. Being at SAGU, man, and loving the Lord is a big part of that. And, you love the Lord, you love football, and you love each other. And if we'll do those things and kind of find that balance, man, this can become a really good experience. And I tell the story all the time to our guys. 2 guys go into the military. They go through the same training camp. They go to the same, deployment. They do everything the same for 6 straight years. They walk out. One says, hey, this was the greatest thing that ever happened to me. The other one says, this was the worst experience I ever went through. One embraced it, one endured it. So we're constantly talking about to our guys about, hey, man, there's adversity and there's some things that are different on this campus that may be adjustments. But, dude, just embrace it. Make this a great experience. And it'll change your life. And, I got a theory about these guys. That boy, and I've got a 15-year-old boy, and I got a 20-year-old daughter. I got a bunch of kids in my house. But boys from the age of 15 to about 22 are trying to figure out about 2 things. What am I going to do with my life, and where's my wife? And that's about the only thing they're concerned about. So we're trying to tie in the elements that this environment puts you in a situation where you can figure out both of those things, because the Lord's going to direct you and guide you. And ultimately, we're just using football as a connecting point. Drake and I are connected because of football connected us. We love each other. We care about each other. And I want to see him become a man. That's what keeps us connected. Same thing with Jordan and I. Same thing with Blaine and I. Blaine's like one of my kids. We're so close. We're so much alike. We probably get on each other's nerves, honestly.
Hey, that's a good relationship, though.
Yeah.
Jordan, let's go back to you real quick. With the injuries and everything else, I used to have Coach tell me time and pressure reveals the man. And you've put in some time making all these trips and stuff and finding a home here at SAGU. But the pressure of having an injury and then extending a season out, talk about the mental fortitude it took for you to go back in there after the season got cut after 2 games and just get in that weight room, get in that recovery room, and get ready for this season coming up.
Yeah, it was crazy. After I got hurt, I spent a lot of time rehabbing and working out, planning to come back. Then I came down here, went through spring. We got 1 scrimmage in, went home for the weekend, and I was planning on coming back on a Tuesday. And then they just said, don't come back till the summer, till fall. It's kind of a weird deal. But my dad is actually a coach, and in high school, I plan to be a coach in the future. And I actually had a couple coaching jobs that I could have taken this year since I graduated last spring. But honestly, being around Coach Smith and the guys around here and just feeling that love for football is a whole lot different when you're going through a struggle and having all your teammates with you. Like putting in the work by yourself, one thing, you got to be committed to it. I love football. But having all these guys that have my back and coaches that have my back and then having an impact on the team makes it feel so much more worth it. And I wouldn't trade it for the world. And I'm so excited to have another chance.
Well, and Blaine, how good is it for you to see some of these kids that maybe got passed over, maybe didn't get a look at, and get to see them as a 5-year starter, and be a cornerstone of this program? How does it feel for you to initiate these kids into NAIA football?
I think it's real, it's a blessing for me because I was a kid that was overlooked. And when I came in, I had older guys look after me because I definitely didn't think that it was going to be like that. I definitely thought I was just going to be another freshman that no one wanted to talk to, and I was going to have to try to find another freshman. But I had starting quarterbacks, receivers, everybody, O-linemen, everybody just hey man, what's your name? And they actually like cared about me. And that's what I really embrace the most. And that's what I try to do for guys now, because an 18-year-old kid coming out of high school, it's hard for them to come in and be like, I mean, I'm 23, so it's like, he's 23, and it's like, seeing a 23-year-old man's like weird. Like, he's got facial hair and I don't. I haven't even shaved yet. And it's like, for me, I embrace them because I don't want them to feel like that they're not worth this team's time or anything like that, because everybody's worth everybody's time. And we'll ride for anybody that gives us a chance at SAGU. And I just try to do that for all the young kids. I try to embrace them to stay and do the long haul.
Awesome. Well, Drake, I didn't play football. If you can't tell, I'm kind of small. I was fortunate enough, though, I played D2 baseball, and I can tell you that just talking to people that if you didn't play D1 baseball, it's almost like you didn't play competition. And it seems like with football, if people don't see you on college game day, then it's not real football. But talk about even at an NAIA level, the competition, the high level of competition. And then like y'all have talked about the drive that you'll get out of some of these kids that maybe you don't see from some of those guys at higher levels.
Right. So coming here, there are a lot of diamond in the rough. I'm one of them. I was a right tackle in high school. I weighed 230, all-state right tackle. And it was tough. I had to work my butt off to get here, and I think it's cool seeing those freshmen, right out of high school come in, and I love to see that drive out of them like I had, and I still do. I love to encourage that. I love to get them on their toes, hey, let's go work out. All the above. I love to see that drive. I do. And from the competition here is way different in high school, and you see it. People are more physical, bigger, that's for sure. But I think people at a higher level do take it for granted because they're already there. We're striving to get there. We're striving to put a better roof over our mother's head, and that fight in us and that love for the game has only enhanced even more to think that, okay, I have a chance to go to that next level. I have a chance to put a better roof over my mom's head, So that's what I think.
That's phenomenal, man. That is phenomenal. Coach Smith, let's talk about real quick. Let's just look at, not trying to jump too far ahead, but let's talk about the recruiting class that you had out of Ellis County this year. And just if you could bring up some of the guys that you got out of Ellis County.
So, we've always, my son, plays at Midlothian Heritage.
Yeah.
So we always try to stay with those guys a lot. We've got several Waxahachie guys. We got Antoine Reddick's with us. He's a Hatchie guy. And then, we've been in talks with Keyshawn Anderson, which would be a transfer. And then, we had 3 Palmer guys, Palmer kids, and we got a couple of them left. So we try to do a good job because, there's so many things that drive this decision. And I have an honest, transparent conversation with these guys. Hey, man, if location's a big thing for you, I can't move my campus.
Yeah.
So if you're wanting to get away, then there's not much I can do. But I can make this very affordable for you. I can make this an experience so your mom can come to every game and that she can be a part of this college experience. And, some guys enjoy that, and we know there's some great coaches in this county. Alexander did a great job, him and his staff at Waxahachie. Coach Wendell does a great job over at Midlow, and then Wig does a great job at Heritage. And, all these guys that are local here, love the Red Oak guys. All those guys just do a tremendous job. We have signed one Red Oak guy. We've got him committed already, Carter Lincoln. He's an outside linebacker safety kid. We've got several other guys we're talking to. That signing day is the first week of February. So the biggest thing I'll tell these guys is everything that glitters in gold. And that a lot of times staying at home and allowing your family to be a part of that college experience, that's a blessing. These 3 guys can tell you Drake's mom drives, how far are you away?
About 2.5.
Drake's mom drives 3 hours. Blaine's family's about 2.5, 3 hours. George's family is a state away. I'm from Mississippi. I started here for 4 years back in the early 2000s. My mom saw me play 5 ball games, so she never really got to be a part of that experience. And that's what we try to tell these local guys that, man, you can really come out of this thing financially, making really good decisions and come out and also get to play college football. And, we fly to Arizona. We go to Oklahoma. You kind of get to see the world. And I tell these guys all the time, I'm 37 years old. Everywhere I've been in my life was because of a football. And, I'm from a town of 410 people. So the fact that, I get to go to other states and coach football, that's a big deal, and that's a blessing. And if these guys will allow it to, this game and this campus can really influence and impact them. And what I love about SAGU, man, is when you're inside this campus, you don't feel like you're in Waxahachie. It's got its own little vein. It's got its own little flavor of kind of how we operate. So you don't, even though you may be from Waxahachie or Palmer or Midlothian, you kind of feel far enough away. But, my big thing is, dude, you're close enough to go get home cooking and get your laundry done, but you're far enough I won't drive you crazy. So
raid the pantry, huh?
That's right.
There you go. Well, Blaine, let me jump back down to you. And I know y'all got a fundraiser going on right now. And tell us a little bit about that. I know you're, about 60% of your goal so far?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, we're trying to push it just to help us as a program, to give people the experience that they want, like that everyone else dreams about getting. And we're trying to, as older classmen, as me and Jordan, a junior, Drake's a sophomore, we're trying to push it big time so that when kids get here in the future, that it's like a better experience than what we had. It's kind of like the saying, like, as a parent, like, I want that they want to give you more, but than what they had. And that's kind of what we want to do.
Yeah.
Awesome. And I can tell from talking from all three of you guys and coach as well, that it really does feel like a family, and that you're growing more than just football, even though that is the common goal, that you're growing together as men. And I can really feel that. And it'd be a program that I think I'd want any kid or myself to be a part of. Coach Smith, back to you real quick now. We hadn't talked about the season directly, but like you said, tomorrow's your first day of prep. What's the look ahead, short term, and maybe what are some goals that you got for this squad going into this, which is weird to say, spring season?
I think so in our program build, and, Blaine and I have been here all 3 years together. Jordan is our first, Drake is our second. So everybody's kind of at a different phase. But this is what we're calling our team of evidence. And what I mean by that is when, you spend your first year just kind of identifying who you are. The big thing with us is mission, values, and vision. So our first year, it's just Blaine and I, we were just talking about who we were. What was our identity? What was Monday like? Monday's a big blue collar day for us. Just go back to work. And then last year 2, which was Drake's first year, was our year of growth, which involved a lot of pain and a lot of, setbacks and adversities. But there was a unification process that we had to go through, and you had to go through that process. And then, this year this is our team of evidence. The big thing we sell is it's an outward sign of an inner belief. We really believe we have all the guys in place. We really believe in our players. We really believe in the coaches in place, and we believe in our process. So our expectation is, to go out and put ourselves in a position to win every ball game. There were some Saturdays, as you start to build a program where you're just transparent, like, hey, we're going out to compete. We want to give ourselves a chance. We expect it now. We're at a point, there's an expectation. We expect to execute on offense. We expect to be alignment, assignment, sound on defense, and we expect to make plays on special teams. And we're going to, our goal is that on Saturdays is a complete outward sign of an internal belief that we have Monday through Friday. So that's a big thing for us. And, that's what we're pushing every day. That's our mindset. And, we got to do that. We played 8 quarters of football last fall, and we won 7 of them. And we kind of flipped the script, so to speak, from a year, and you just saw how much we had grown and how much adversity had helped that. You don't want to admit that, but it's part of it. So that when you start to feel that sense of, adversity, you go, okay, I can handle this. I've been here before. So there's an expectation on this bunch. Extremely talented a bunch of guys. Extremely gifted bunch of guys, and we feel like we finally got the right pieces in place to really go make a push. And, that's our expectation, and that's what we plan on doing.
Well, guys, I'll tell you and the rest of Ellis County, there's that stat that's out there. It doesn't matter if you play D1 all the way down, only 7% make it to college sports. And that just means that y'all are studs on the field. And apparently, Seth, they're good men off the field. And Coach, guys, really appreciate y'all coming by, and we will be by to support y'all and hopefully get some post-game interviews and stuff like that from y'all and keep everybody abreast of what's going on over there at SAGU this year.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it, guys. Thank y'all.
That'll work. Well, y'all enjoy your evening, and as y'all get kicked off tomorrow, we wish you the best of luck. Give them hell. We'll talk to you again.
All right, guys. Appreciate it.
We're welcoming in the legendary Coach Greg Gober for the Waxahachie Running Indians. And we got Z Vazarian along with us. I want to welcome you guys in. And Coach Gober, we appreciate you taking time, as well as you, Z. I got to ask, with everything that's going on in the outside world, to be number one in the state, and I know don't want to look at rankings, but it's got to feel pretty good.
Well, I'll let Z answer that, how he feels about it. I know how I feel. I've said it. Let's just see how Z feels.
Yeah, man, it feels good, especially my first year being on varsity. I feel like we've been being pretty consistent and playing together.
Well, I can tell you that Coach Gober, the smile on his face definitely indicated what he was going to say a lot clearer. But it's good that y'all guys are rolling. Z, kind of give us a look into that locker room. With everything, with all the requirements, they weren't letting people into the gyms for the longest time. How has it been different to build that team camaraderie, and how do you feel that the team chemistry is right now?
I feel like it didn't really stop us from bonding or nothing, but it's kind of harder. But I mean, we still like wear our masks and stuff, and we social distance and all that in there. But yeah, we still get everything done that we're supposed to, though. So it's not really affecting us on the court, though.
Well, Coach Gober,
that's the good thing about it. Yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was going to say the good thing about the bonding part is we necessarily haven't been able to do as much in the locker room as we would with everybody, but we've isolated our freshmen come in the morning, so they're not with the varsity. Then the JV, they're in another part of the dressing area now. They're not even close to us. They're in a total different section just to try to mitigate some of the things that are going on. And it's still we just canceled the freshman games for tomorrow. Lake Ridge had called previous to that and canceled the JV game for tomorrow. So the only game that'll be played tomorrow will be the varsity game.
Well, and Coach Gober, I mean, I had the opportunity to talk to you at the very beginning of the season, and we both talked. You talked about how defense was going to spur this offense. I know everybody loves the dunks and stuff, but just talk about the defensive effort that your team has been putting in and out, not in and out.
Well, here's the thing. Like Z's a great reason that Z's on here because Z's our best defender. I mean, he gets up on the ball. He generally will draw the toughest opponent, the assignment. He's going to be on them. And what ends up happening is a lot of times Z sacrifices. He'll end up taking fouls that he might not have had if he wasn't covering that guy. So he's done a great job with that role and understood how not to take some senseless fouls because it's so important. But overall, for the entire team, we generate a lot of our offense out of the defense. And we spend a lot of time communicating and trying to stay connected. Everybody talks about, a great defense is you're really like tied on a rope and you're all together and you're moving as one. And sometimes we really start to feel that way. And the more often that happens, generally the better we're moving. One guy's going to lead into something for us, and then the next guy's going to lead into this part. And it's kind of like the concept of help the helper. You just keep helping the helper, and finally it's going to work out for us.
Well, Vazarian, I just want to ask you on the same note, right? On that defensive side, when you've got these guys behind you and you've got this trust built up, especially being as young as you are on a pretty established and seasoned team, how special does that feel when Coach gives you those kind of accolades? And how do you take that and make your game even better going into the playoffs?
Well, I just feel like because we have so much trust with each other, so like I feel like I can gamble sometimes or do what I like. Sometimes get away with stuff that I'm not supposed to because I know that I have people that'll back me up and be there. And like our defense is really strong.
You know, we actually run a lot of man defense, but we run a lot of multiple things out of it. And most teams, they really don't want to do that. They say that their kids really couldn't handle that, or they're not. I hate to even say this, that they go, you know, our kids aren't smart enough to do that. And so I challenge mine all the time. I just give them more and more because I think they've got a tremendous basketball IQ, and you know, they pick up on things that I don't even pick up on.
Yeah, I feel like we feed off each other's energy on defense. It turns into offense and like gets everyone going. So when one person gets a steal, another person gets a steal, and then it just keeps going from there.
It's contagious. Well, Coach Gober, I know when we talked earlier in the season, had a couple guys banged up, nicked up, and you talked about the strength of your schedule, especially early on, and then you get into district and it just doesn't let up. But you guys are rolling on a 10-game winning streak. You took out Duncanville when they were number 1 in the state and overtook them. You just put up over 100 points against Midway. Kind of talk about the health of your team, how you've gotten it back, and how that has transitioned over into this click and this offensive explosion that you guys have had over this past 10 games.
Well, it really just started with just trying to get everybody together. You know, it just those injuries just happened, and the good thing was we played through them during a real tough stretch of the schedule, and you know we fared pretty well. You know, it was tough deal up in you know, McKinney when we didn't have, you know, Tez, and then CJ broke his nose, and we're just battling from a tough game the night before. But what it did was made us tougher. We never once just really looked at each other and felt sorry for, hey, we don't have him, or boy, it'd be good if we had Jalen here this first month. We just said the next guy will do it, and it really opened the door for DJ Pigford to come in and start. He started during that stretch and did a great job with Tez not being in there. I mean, really established himself as a really, really strong player for us. And then, you know, football finally gets finished up a little bit, and then we get, you know, Preston comes in, and then Jamarcus does just something totally different. We weren't really expecting Jamarcus to be able to do the things that he does defensively for us, and then he doesn't hurt us offensively either. So with those, you know, attributes coming in there while the other guys were out, it really helped. Plus we had a bench full of guys that just needed an opportunity. You know, Jordan Davis, last couple games, you talk about offense, but Jordan's done a great job with his defense. He turned it into each game's hit 3 threes in the last couple games. So, you know, just everybody's really playing together. Honestly, some of the best players say CJ or Tez or Jalen, they sacrifice as much as anybody else, because if you're winning big, like Z gets to start, sometimes Z doesn't go back in, you know, for a long time. So it's tough on those guys when you try to play 14 players because you're winning, because everything's going well. It makes it tough to still have all that consistency too. So it's still a work in progress.
Well, talking about getting to play under some of those seniors and the winning culture that's now been established back for Waxahachie basketball, what you've learned from those guys and what has kind of been set on you from the players, from those senior guys, as far as what's expected from the underclassmen and to get that team more involved and to keep the course.
Yeah, well, I feel like they're very humble, and like I feel like it's always right to follow what they do. Like, even when they're doing wrong, like, I'm not doing wrong necessarily, like messing up or having a bad game, it's still hard to like kind of not follow them and do what they do. Like, you still keep looking for them to shoot, whether they're having an off game or nothing. You keep passing them the ball until they get going. And just as far as the guys coming off the bench or anything, like, it's everyone has their little role that they do, and they know what they can do. No one tries to force anything. And if they do, like, they figure out quick. And it's not like we don't really like fuss with each other at all. So that's another thing I like about looking up with CJ and them. They don't really argue with you or nothing. It's just all like a family.
Well, Coach Gober, I mean, you hear special, you hear humble, and you know you got kids that are getting a lot of accolades right now. But that's the one thing. I mean, you mentioned this a second ago, 14 deep you've played this year. You know, how special of a team is this to you outside of the winning to have this kind of group come together in this fashion?
It's been a true blessing. I mean, honestly, because a lot of the guys are new. A lot of guys didn't really know each other. It just shows you the core value of the players that we have there. It's contagious. And it's just like this COVID that we're going through is contagious. The positive stuff that we've got going is contagious too. You know, Z wouldn't say this, but Z's a really good scorer. Z can score. You guys would not believe what type of player he is, but one of the assistants was asking Z, why don't you shoot a little bit more? He goes, well, I really don't know. This is not exactly what he said, but it's basically, I don't have to shoot a lot because we've got a lot of other guys on this team that can score. So for someone to say that in today's world, that doesn't normally happen. They would come up with some selfish reasons of why they didn't shoot or somebody else's fault. But Z was smart enough to look at it and go, well, we got a lot of guys that are scoring. I'll just do this part. And when it's time to hit this big basket, I'll hit the big basket. So to me, that's part of this that makes it so special. Back to your original question, you know, I'm ecstatic. I love the guys. They go to battle every day, and they just try to do what they're supposed to do. And, you know, Z said it, just don't try to be something we're not, or don't try to be something that somebody wants us to be. You know, just be who we are, and good things have been happening for us.
Well, Z, I know Coach Gober said y'all go to battle every day, but I know that man will go to battle for you every day as well. Talk about getting to play under Coach Gober, the tutelage, and some of the things you've learned in the short time being with him, and that's going to leave a lasting impact on you personally.
Yeah, it starts off the court because like he wants the best of us off the court most, like, for anything we do, and it turns over into practice. Like, everything we do is quick and consistent. It's consistent every day. We do the same thing over and over and over again. And playing with Coach, yeah, it's like it's intense sometimes. Like, sometimes I'll be like, I don't know what I did wrong, and I don't know. It's just he's one of the best coaches I've had.
Well, and Coach Gober, you know, we talk about great programs around the state, and one of the key factors there is assistant coaches, your staff. Just talk about your staff and what they've meant to this team this year and how they've been able to amplify the talents of these young men.
Well, I've got a great staff. You know, each one of them's got a specific role, and they understand what they're trying to do. And then, again, it's just like the players. They don't really try to really step out of those roles either because they know what's comfortable. We've got, you know, Coach C, my son, he substitutes. He understands the matchups. He really breaks down a ton of the video with them. And he really knows what's best for us, which combination, that kind of stuff. So we work through it. I'll overrule anything that I just don't feel comfortable with or it just doesn't seem right. I just say we're not going to do that. Sometimes, you know, Coach D's the same thing. Coach D sees it in a different way. He's coming from a different background where we shoot the ball too fast for his, you know, he likes it a little bit more organized, a little bit more consistent, turn it, because that's what he was used to. And so it's a transition for us to see that, you know, hey, sometimes our best shot's that first one, and that's what our kids believe in, and that's just kind of the way we play. We don't take forced or crazy shots, but if we're open, we just play. So it just brings a good balance. And then we have Quentin Cannon, who's coming to us this year, the first year. He's just a solid person he's really just getting used to coaching high school basketball and being around everybody. He's our freshman coach. And then Cody Heil is another freshman coach that we have. And each one of those guys on the bench are looking for different things to try to help me with. You know, I'll just go ahead and say this. You know, Z didn't say it. I didn't say it. It's not anything. I won't be there tomorrow. I won't coach. So our guys are going to get after it. The COVID kind of got me, and I still don't know how or why, but it did. And so I'm going to be out for a couple games. So our coaching staff's going to really, really step up to the plate, and they're going to do a great job because the kids, they know the kids are going to do what they're supposed to do in practices and in games and everything, and good things are going to happen for us.
Well, and Z, let's talk about the assistants with you. does not having that variety and that high level of coaching there at Waxahachie.
We free?
We're good.
City.
So does not having those other coaches out there working with the individual drills, et cetera, not get you prepared for a long-term career in basketball?
Well, no, yeah, that's why I say, like I said, the big guys like CJ and them, they pretty much like follow under like to me, they follow as like our second coach, like because we're so consistent. Like everyone knows what to do, but CJ and them, as them being the leaders, they have us do the same stuff like as if coach was there.
Well, Coach Gober, well, you're down the stretch here. You got Cedar Hill, Duncanville, Waco, and DeSoto just to end the season before we get even into playoffs. So the fight never ends. Talk about the mental fortitude of this team who has that playoff experience, but to go out and to have to grind day in and day out and still have the mental fortitude and the conditioning and the fight to go out there and, like you said, to still continue to dominate and play together as a squad.
Well, the consistency part is it gets mundane at sometimes, and like it's the same stuff. You just got to continue to preach the same thing, but you can always be better at it. And that's like Z says, we have a routine. We know what's coming, when it's coming, what we're supposed to be doing. Do we always do it to the best of our abilities? No. So what we do is we just step in and we challenge them. Even when it's good, it's got to be better. And they know that no matter how great practice is or how great a game ended up being for us, we're going to find something that needed to be improved on, and we're going to work on it. And here's the cool thing about it. The kids, they look for that too. They know they can be better at a lot of things, and they'll be the first ones to tell you. You don't even need to tell them anymore. It's like, I know, Coach, I should have done this or should have done that. I'll get it next time. So to me, that's, as Z keeps alluding to, we have leaders on the court that are coaching what we really, the foundation, what we want to get done during the game. I always tell them, if I'm calling a play every time down, or if I'm telling you what to do, then we're not winning. And, the thing about it is they got to be able to make some of those decisions and at a high level. And most of the time, if I tell them somebody's open or to hit him, it's way too late. And so they're getting really good at just making those plays themselves.
Well, and Z, who's that guy on the team that just kind of keeps everybody loose, though? Y'all got somebody like that?
Z?
Yeah, I gotta say
Z's
Tez
one of
sometimes.
them.
Yeah, I'm one of them, but I think Tez, because Tez, he's always energetic every time. Like no matter what we're doing, whether it's practice, warming up, stretching, no matter what it is.
It's crazy. He's right.
Yes.
Montez will keep you entertained. So.
Well, awesome. Well, Z, I know y'all don't have any problem getting people out to that gym, and now you've got people that actually can come in. The regulations have been loosened a little bit. But if you had to give a pump-up speech or something to anybody out there to say, hey, you need to come watch us, we're special, what would it be?
I'll say we play fast and it's fun. It looks really good, and I feel like right now we're doing so good. Like no one can really beat us right now.
Well, a lot of people can beat us right now.
Yeah.
We got to keep believing that we're not going to let that happen.
Yeah.
Well, and I'm sure Coach tell you, everybody that makes it, anywhere down the line in the playoffs always has that one defensive stopper, and it looks like you may be that guy this year that gets those kind of accolades.
Yeah.
And hats off to you on the defensive effort there.
Thank you.
Well, Coach Gober, Z, we appreciate you guys taking the time out of your evening to join us. Coach Gober, we wish you the best of luck getting better so you can get back with the squad. But when y'all hit that court tomorrow night and in the future, go get them. We can't wait to see y'all win a district championship and take a run into the playoffs.
Man, we appreciate you guys having us on and talking basketball for everyone. So get out there if you can and watch a game.
Well, we appreciate it, sir. Best of luck, and we'll catch up with y'all later.
Okay, right, thanks, guys.
May our pride always be unparalleled. May our traditions live on and on. May our dreams be big, but our hearts even bigger. May we never be too busy to smile, too old to dance, or too tired to care. It's what makes us Texas, and it's what makes Pinnacle Bank happy to be here. May we always be part of your community. Because we're not just a bank in Texas, we're Texas in a bank. Pinnacle Bank, the way banking should be.